Urban Meyer is officially out of the NFL before the end of his first season. And I mean, honestly, are we surprised at this point?
I gave you fair warning, beware. Smack him in the corner of the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown. Smack him in the mouth. I gave you fair warning, beware. I'll smack him in the mouth.
What is up, everyone? I am Mike, and I am on the mic, and I'd like to welcome you to the YouTube channel. You may be used to seeing me being a dumbass on TikTok, but over here, I share my real opinions, most of the time. We're about to talk about Urban Meyer and what has transpired over the last couple months or so with him as the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. But first, help me out. It takes 2 seconds to subscribe, turn on notifications, and like this video. I spend my entire day fighting against the algorithm, and you can help me get that W by doing those 3 things. Thank you. And if you don't do those 3 things, Look, I was willing to give Urban Meyer a sincere shot at earning my support as a head coach in the NFL. Especially at the beginning of the year, I liked what the Jaguars did this offseason. I thought that there was some sincere hope for this team to improve drastically. I even had this team winning 5+ games in the preseason, which is a huge improvement from previous years. While Joe and Tony were very doubtful of Urban Meyer as the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, I was saying, let's see. Let's give him 3 years at least to try and turn this team around, and then we'll judge how the guy's doing as a head coach. All of that love, all of that support, all of that hopefulness came way before Meyer and the Jaguars hired a strength and conditioning coach who had gotten accused of being a racist at his previous job. Meyer tried to force Tim Tebow back into the NFL at the tight end position. Although, to be fair, if this would have worked out, I would have been fully backing Tim Tebow time. But it didn't. It absolutely fell flat on its face. All that support was before Urban Meyer cheated on his wife in front of the entire world. Right after a loss of all times to go out and party and dance and whatever the hell he's doing in that video. That support came before Urban Meyer benched James Robinson, possibly the best rookie running back from last year. An undrafted guy who had over 1,000 yards rushing and was set to have another explosive year this year. I mean, it was bad enough that they drafted ETN, but to still see James Robinson get benched even after ETN went down with injury before the season even started, unexcusable, unacceptable, and really hurt my fantasy teams. My backing of Urban Meyer as the coach of the Jaguars came before the heated argument that he's reported to have had with veteran wide receiver, one of the most underrated wide receivers in the league, Marvin Jones Jr., a guy who a lot of people in the league respect, look up to, love playing with. I'm a fan of Marvin Jones Jr. And finally, the straw that probably broke the firing's back, kicking his kicker during warm-ups before a practice. Yes, you heard me right. He kicked one of his players. Josh Lambo didn't take it too lightly as he took it straight to the media. Urban, holy shit, man. What's going on? On top of all this, Urban seems to be trying to take the low road by not assuming any responsibility or blame for all the things that went wrong in Jacksonville this year while he was the coach. This is a quote from the first interview he's had as the ex-head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think everything is so fragile right now, and that includes the coaching staff. Everything is so fragile where it used to be team, team, team. You can't kick people, Urban. You can't cheat on your wife in front of the entire team, let alone the entire world. You can't try and bring former quarterbacks who didn't even make it as a quarterback in to play tight end for your team when you could have given that chance to a younger, hungrier prospect. The league being fragile is not the reason that you should be yelling back and forth with one of your most respected veteran players on the team. And being fragile was not the reason that you also probably benched one of your best players with the most promising talent. No, Urban. That was all you, bro. That was no one else's fault but yours. I don't wish bad on anyone on this planet, but the chances of Urban Meyer ever getting a head coaching job in the NFL again are probably 0. And honestly, after I did support the hiring initially, now I wouldn't support the hiring of Urban Meyer to the NFL again. Ever again. For the rest of his life. For the rest of my life. You may be something in college football, but this was an opportunity for Urban Meyer. Do not get that twisted by any means necessary, because it's clear now that bringing in Urban Meyer to be the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars was a huge mistake. And I don't even think the Jaguars could have calculated what was going to take place throughout the course of this season. It has been all negative and almost zero positive for this team. But the only positive thing coming out of it is now the Jacksonville Jaguars can look for a new head coach. And that has some endless possibilities. Now, who is the best candidate to take over the Jacksonville Jaguars head coaching position this offseason? I've read and seen and heard of 10 to 15 different names surrounding this job. While it probably isn't going to be the most sought after landing spot for potential head coaches, just because the Jaguars are the Jaguars, who would I like to personally take the job? Here is a name, and I'm only going to say one, even though there are a bunch of different names that could possibly be said that fit this role pretty perfectly. But the one coach that I want to see in Jacksonville next year is the former Philadelphia Eagles head coach, Doug Peterson. I think this is perfect for both sides. For Doug Peterson, he's found a team that possibly will be willing to take a chance on him because what else do they have to lose, really? And that's what it's going to take for him to get back into the NFL as a head coach, in my opinion, after all of the mess that happened at the end of his time in Philadelphia. And for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Doug Peterson is a former quarterback himself when he had his playing time, who is offensive-minded and perfect for the development of Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence. He had Carson Wentz playing at an MVP level and won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles in the same season. That one year the Eagles ran the table and won the Super Bowl. He rebuilt that Eagles team into a Super Bowl caliber team in just a couple of years. The Jacksonville Jaguars need to be completely rebuilt just about. That's my opinion. I want to hear from you. So drop down in the comment section right now and let me know who you want to take over as the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach in 2022. Urban Meyer is the wrong answer. Thank you for tuning into this video. As always, I really appreciate it. Before you go, remember to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can be alerted every time we post a new video. Try to do good things with your life, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be an Urban Meyer. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Mike, and I'm on the mic, and this is me saying until next time.
Smack him in the mouth. I gave you fair warning.